What up, guys? In this video, I want to talk about something maybe a lot of people won't agree with, but it's about why I believe that as a man, you should friend zone yourself with women. And I mean, I guess I don't exactly mean friend zone, um, but I think a lot of guys don't understand that there there is a middle ground. It's not just you're the alpha or you're the beta friend zone guy. There is a middle ground, right? Where you can just, be strong and grounded and be friends with a woman without being friend zoned, right? So if you're just a strong, masculine, kind of chill and grounded guy, she's not gonna put you in the friend zone. Heck, it could actually be the opposite. She might assume that you don't like her, and that's why you're not going after her, which can actually put you above other men, if you're just treating her like a friend, right? So that can actually help you. I believe there's many reasons why you want to do this. So I think women often they're not ready for you to show romantic intent. They're not ready for that. They take a longer time to process a man, right? They have to observe him, spend time around him a lot of the time. I think it's not usual that you can just meet a woman, ask her on a date, and it's just gonna be easy going. She's just gonna show up, right? There's nothing wrong with friend zoning. It's not exactly friend zoning, but just treating her like a friend. It actually looks masculine. It actually looks like you're not trying to get anything from her and that you don't need anything from her. Just speak with a deep voice and just be chill and just act like you're grounded and centered in your own life. Um, a lot of dudes, I think, when they're on their journey, they think, okay, I gotta be super aggressive, right? Ask her out, this and that. But I think a lot of the time, that's just something that impresses other men, right? But that doesn't exactly impress women, because women, they don't necessarily need to be impressed in that type of way. They want to feel comfortable enough to go on a date with you. And I think if you even show intent too quick, for them, they assume that it's actually sexual. They assume that you're just trying to have sex with them. And they don't, how do I explain it? They don't know your intention, and a lot of the time, yeah, they're just gonna assume that you either want to have sex with them or you think that you guys are compatible right away. And a girl's not gonna like that. She might be like, well, she doesn't even know he doesn't even know my personality. He might not even like me if he have actually got to know me. Or that she might be thinking, oh, he doesn't even know if I have a boyfriend or not, blah blah blah. Like, the woman's gonna think, this guy's moving too fast, you know especially like women who are really close to their friends and family. If you try to date them and take them out too quick, they're gonna think that they're gonna see you as an intruder to them, to their life. Because a woman who is close to her friends and family, that's like her little circle. So if you're trying to get into that too quick, it's not necessarily that you would be meeting her friends and family right away, but psychologically, I think the woman sees you as an intruder, because you're not part of her close group of friends and family. So you trying to take her out, you're trying to get too close too quick. She already has her little tribe. So it's like, if you don't know her well, you gotta be a friend. Be her friend for a little bit, right? And then, even in that sense, she might put the brakes on it. She's gonna make things slow for you. She might cancel the first time you guys try to meet, this and that and that. And it's okay. Just play it as friends, right? And a lot of people don't understand the kind of the usefulness of friend zoning yourself. Like, for example, I asked out this woman from Kazakhstan, Central Asia, And I know that they're, usually Muslim, and I know that they're usually, if I'm Christian, I probably can't date her, right? So rather than just ask her out on a date, I saw it in a different way. I thought, okay, it's unlikely that I can date her because her family probably wouldn't even say yes. So I'm gonna go at it a different way. She said, can I invite? I told her, oh, I want to get to know you as a friend. She said, can I invite my friend? I said, okay, that's good. Like, let's just go out together as friends. And there's a lot more usefulness to that because, let's say I ask her out on a date, I show some romantic intent. She goes, oh, I'm Muslim, he's not, I can't date him, I'm nervous, I don't know him. She cancels, right? Then now I just lost all my opportunity to get to know a woman from Kazakhstan. So, but if I friend zone myself, I can go out, get to know her friend. Now I got a reference that I can use for any woman from Kazakhstan that I meet. I can say, oh, I got a female friend from Kazakhstan. I can use that as a reference point, and it will never stop working. It will work like a charm. Every time I meet a woman from Kazakhstan, I can say, hey, I know this woman from another woman from Kazakhstan, and that's gonna make those girls comfortable. So if I do meet one that is Christian, so if I do meet one that I'm really compatible with, then things will work, right? So sometimes it's better to friend zone yourself. And even if I wanna double back, and try to date this Kazakhstan girl that I'm gonna get lunch with, her and her friend, then I think I can pull it off, because I'm not gonna make myself weak. I'm not gonna make it so that I can never try with her. All you have to say is later is, oh, I just thought we could be friends at first, but I've changed my mind. I would like to take you out. Or you can just start hanging out with them as friends and just see how things go. Because I feel like once you get at least enough dating experience, then you can play it both ways. You can be friends with them in some senses, and then you can kind of throw in a little flirtation here and there and kind of create a slight dating dynamic, but also be friends. And you can mix that in. If you have that experience, you just have to practice. So I don't think it's bad. Like, I think a lot of the time it makes girls comfortable. Especially if you're getting to know a foreign woman, like this Kazakhstan girl that I want to go out with her and her friend. If you're getting to know a foreign woman, they have so many stereotypes about you as a person because they're new to your country or they're new to getting to know someone from where you're from. They got so many stereotypes and thoughts and fears and anxieties that you gotta take it slow, because they're gonna have to observe you twice as hard to make sure that you're not the stereotype. Like, for all you know, they think that all men from your country are just players that just wanna sleep with them. Or maybe they think that the crime rate in your country is super high, so they don't know if you're gonna try to steal their stuff. They don't know the stereotypes. They have stereotypes about wherever you're from. There's stereotypes about every country. So if you're getting to know a foreign woman, you gotta take it slow, because you don't know what they think about you and your country, right? That's preconceived fears. And another thing is, like, if you just act as a friend, it makes you look like you're centered in yourself. It makes you look like you're confident in your own life. Like, if you try to be Rizatron McMillion, just trying to show all this intent and stuff, I think it generally doesn't work. It just makes the woman think, okay, she thinks, oh yeah, he has courage, but he's just trying so hard. He needs a girlfriend. And that doesn't necessarily make you look good. It can make you look socially unaware, right? Especially if it's like certain contexts. Let's say if it's your coworkers, you gotta long game it. There's nothing wrong with the long game. I think girls like the long game. If you look back to, if you ask many married couples, they'll often say, they'll talk about how they worked together for like 3 years. They'll be like, yeah, we never saw each other that way, or he liked me but he didn't want to ask me out because it was work. You know, they maybe know each other for 2 or 3 years before they go out, or that it's somebody that they knew from you know, elementary school. They've known each other for years. So a lot of the time, women don't they don't just go for you right away. I don't know where this preconceived notion came from. I don't know if it's because people try to sell dating courses. They try to make it this quick, easy, simple fix. Oh, just meet a woman and just ask her out and show balls and she'll go. But okay, yeah, it can happen. It can definitely happen. But I believe, like I've talked about in my other videos, if a woman is truly in her feminine, she's gonna resist you. Because if a woman's truly in her feminine, she probably has close ties to her parents, because that's what makes a woman feminine. If a woman doesn't have close ties to her parents or her father, she's probably usually not as feminine, because not having close ties to her father or her parents will psychologically mess her up. But if she does have close ties to her parents, like I'm saying, it goes back to you know, what I was saying earlier in the video, that she's gonna consider you like an intruder, because her parents are her safety. That's her safety net. So she's gonna be scared of people outside of that, right? A truly feminine woman. So she's gonna resist you. This means that she might not respond to your first text. This means that she's gonna be a little bit inconsistent, right? This means that she's gonna be scared of you, because she has got a lot to lose, right? If she's got a close ties with her parents, and her parents are her safety, she's got a lot to lose by stepping outside of that to allow you to lead her. Why would she easily step away from her father, who's leading her well and who makes her feel safe, to step into some new role with somebody who is going to take over that role of her father, which would be you, you know, leading her and marrying her? No, a woman is not going to easily step away from her father. That's her safety net, right? So you trying to just date her, she's like, bro, she's already got a father who's making her feel safe. She already has a father that's paying for her meals, paying for her living space, you know, this, that, and a third. Why would she feel safe to do that? Okay? So you gotta take it slow, and you gotta be socially aware. And a woman might even try to put you in the friend zone just to see how you react. See if you can handle it. See if you can be chill about it. Because if you're overly reactive, oh, what? You don't see me in a sexual way? And then you get all offended and feel emasculated, then she might be a little bit scared of you. She might be like, this guy, you know, feels so emasculated. He's fragile in his masculinity. He can't even ride it out as friends for a couple months. So, yeah. It's not necessarily weak to be friends. The thing is, you just gotta be chill and detached. And then she'll think, okay, this guy's boyfriend material. But it's different, that and being friend zoned. Friend zone, I think, is kind of a different thing. Friend zone is something that happens when men are quite insecure, and they try to really ride it out as friends, but they're not really showing their own personal strength. If you stay chill in your body language and you speak with a deep voice, and you just act like you don't need her that much, but you still try to be friends, you're detached and you're being friends, you're not gonna get, you know, put in a permanent friend zone where you're gonna have to work hard to get out. If you tease her a little bit, even as your friends, you know, and you can disagree with her, you're fine. She's not gonna put you in the friend zone. A girl will put you in the friend zone if you always agree with her. You want to disagree with her sometimes so that it becomes normalized, so that if you do try to be with her and she says no, 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 then you can disagree with her way of seeing things and it won't look weird. A lot of guys, they'll start off by not agreeing, or they'll start off by being too agreeable with the woman, always agreeing with all of her opinions and stuff, and then finally when they try to break out of that and be like, oh, I want to date you, which is essentially a disagreement, telling a woman that you want to date her. It's kind of a disagreement because you're basically saying, you know, this like friendly thing, I disagree with it. You know, I want to go to the next level. So that's why you gotta disagree earlier on in banter and your opinions and preferences. You know, she says that she likes a sport, you don't like it, say, you know, I don't like that sport, I find it boring. You know, so then when you finally do get to the point of asking her out on a date, which is essentially to disagree with being friends with her, then you've already established that you can disagree with her. Okay. Yeah, a lot of dudes are gonna like agree with it, but think about it like this. It's like a cool sports car. The sports car doesn't need to rev its engine and show what it can do. It just has a cool presence. It has a strong, masculine, powerful presence, even if it's just parked, right? It doesn't, like a lot of dudes think they gotta rev their engine and, you know, show all this intent and show what they can do to the woman. It's like, no. A cool car, even if it's decent, even if it's an old car, but it's kind of cool. Even if it's dirty and it has a couple dents, it's not even perfect looking. But if it's an old sports car and it looks cool, it doesn't, you don't even have to run the engine. People see it parked and they go, oh, that's cool. So you can be the same way. You can have strong masculine presence without actually doing anything. It's just your presence. Even if you're friends with her, you don't gotta do that much. All right. Have a good one, y'all. Peace out. I'm gonna go make some toast with some peanut butter and some jelly, because that's what I like to do. All right. See ya.